Hey guys, so today we will be making a building that is going to have a barrier around it that is going to see if it can withhold water from a flood. So we're going to start off by getting our materials. So we're going to need some sort of pan, bucket, dish, big enough to place a construction paper home and a barrier around it as well as holding water. We're going to need scissors just in case you need to cut stuff, construction paper for the house, water of course, paper towels for part of the barrier, toilet paper holders for the barrier. I have different kind of rocks, and I have straws as well. And lastly, I have tape to hold everything together. You can also use glue if you have it or a stapler. So we're going to start off by making the house. So I'm going to take my construction paper and I am going to cut it. And I'm not creative, so we're going to make a circle house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the two ends and I'm just going to put them together, and I'm going to take tape and I'm going to tape the two sides together. Easy and fast. Alright, so we have that. I got some brown for like a roof. No, got it. I didn't even measure it and it fits perfectly. Cool. Alright, so I have my house. So I'm going to set it in my container, my bucket, and then I'm going to tape these sides down just so it doesn't move. And teachers can come around and help students that need help taping. Alrighty, so we have that in place. As you can see, it is in place. So our next step is making the barrier. So those are going to be our materials like the paper towel, the toilet paper rolls, the straws, the rocks, and then I'm going to try to use construction paper as well. So we'll see how that goes. So I think I am going to try to start with straws. So I'm just going to take them and cut them in half so I have more to use for the barrier. And I'm going to take them and I'm going to put them together and I'm going to tape them right in the middle. And I'm going to take the other two wherever they went. I'm going to do the same thing. So, this. And now I'm going to try to take the two and I'm going to put them, tape them together so they make kind of like an L, or yeah, an L. And hopefully it will prevent the water. There's one, two more. Doing it again the same way I did it for the first two. And I'm going to tape them together to make an L as well. Teachers, definitely make sure you're going around and helping the students with this step because it may be tricky for some. As you can tell, I'm struggling trying to get it taped. So now I'm going to take the two and I'm going to connect them together just at the corner, just like this. And I'm going to tape them. And then I'm going to connect the last two parts just like this to make a square. So if you're following what I'm doing, it'll look like this, and I'm going to place it right over my house. So now that I have that, I think I'm going to add some rocks to keep it in place, just in case if the water moves my barrier. We don't want that to happen, so I'm going to line up the rocks on both sides of the straw and to prevent it from moving when I pour the water in. Alright, so now we have that barrier of 2 layers, 2 different types. I am going to see if I can add paper towel in between the straw and the house, where like the middle rock is. So I'm going to take a sheet and I'm going to kind of tear it the short way, just like this, and kind of crumple it up. And I'm going to put it in between, hoping that it'll absorb so it doesn't hit the house. I'm going to do it for all 4 sides. So now I want to make sure that I have it good and secure. So I'm going to use the the toilet paper rolls, and I'm going to cut them in half so I can use them to kind of like cover, like as like a tunnel type way for the last part of the barrier. Kind of just cover everything, get it nice and good. Stay. There we go. And last one. And teachers, you may need to go around and help them cut these. Sometimes they can be a little tricky. Alrighty, we're going to go on the last 2 sides. Alright, so now that I have that, you can kind of tell, I think I am ready for water. So I'm going to take the water and I'm going to slowly pour it in, and hoping that my barrier was strong enough to prevent the water from reaching it. All right, let's take it out and see. It got a little wet on this side, not terrible. Just means that I have to make that one side a little stronger, but I would say that was a success. So next we would clean this all up, and then we would place it to the side, and the teacher would bring the class together for a discussion that is talked about in the rest of the lesson plan. Thank you for joining.